Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Banned America. I am your host, John Block, and today we have so much to talk about. It's a crazy news day, so we have some breaking news coming right out of Washington. It looks like the United States Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has been under attack by radical left-wing extremists at his house, and they have been lobbing death threats at him, saying they're going to cut his wrinkly old, I don't even want to talk about this. This is just some sick stuff. They're saying they want to murder the turtle, is what they're saying. And by the turtle, they mean Mitch McConnell. And they're right in front of his house, and they are throwing profanity at him and death threats at the majority leader, which is illegal. That is not protected speech under the First Amendment. And Banned America, we have been very clear as to what free speech and what protected speech is. And it does not include violence. It does not include harming one's safety, because if you violate that, you're violating their other rights. And that's the entire point of our First Amendment. We're able to speak our minds no matter what, but we are not able to harm or hurt another individual's personal liberties, because regardless of if we agree with them or not, we cannot afford to live in a society where our rights are not equally given. So, by saying that, I have some breaking news here from The Hill. Republican groups, they're halting Twitter spending after McConnell's account has been locked. And the National Republican Congressional Committee has stopped all spending on their Twitter accounts to boycott Twitter until they bring back Mitch McConnell's tweet. And this tweet I reference is Mitch McConnell. He replied to the radical left-wing extremists who were threatening his life. And he retweeted it saying, "This is not okay. This is hatred." So Twitter, they ban him. They suspend his account until he takes down the tweet that he simply retweeted from these left-wing radicals. So this is just completely idiotic. This is unfair to begin with. But now we have the National Republican Congressional Committee. They have refused to advertise on Twitter, as well as the NRC, or the Republican National Committee, and the NRSC, which is the Republican Senatorial Committee. They have all refused to back any kind of advertisement or any kind of news that they are going to put on their site. They're not going to promote their tweets. That's pretty much it. They're not going to promote their tweets, and they're not going to have any of this horrendous violence that Twitter still has yet to take down from the radicals that posted it. But they suspended the majority leader's account, which doesn't make sense at all, because he's the victim here. He's the one who's had these horrible attacks lobbed at him, and it's disgraceful in the slightest and most piecemeal term. It's disgraceful. I wouldn't even want to use any more colorful language in fear that they'll come after us here at Banned America and start going on our lawn and saying, "Hey, you guys are evil, you should die, XYZ. And this has just gone too far. These left-wing radicals peddling their extremist gun-grabbing legislation to have universal background checks and red flag laws, which are totally unconstitutional, totally against due process rights. They're trying to use the massacres in Texas, in El Paso, and in Ohio, in Dayton, to lob this extreme legislation down our throats, and if we don't comply, they're branding us as abettors to these terrorists that hurt these people and killed their families. And we have nothing to do with that. We are absolutely sickened by the disgusting, disgraceful, and hateful white supremacy and destruction that has been brought upon these two communities by these two savages who should not be on earth. And one of them is not, thankfully, he was shot. But the other one, who did this horrendous deed at the Walmart in El Paso, He does not deserve to see the light of day again, and we should do whatever it takes to lock him up. But more gun legislation, more background checks, more government, more destruction, more Big Brother looking at us and taking away our rights is not going to help solve, not help heal, not help progress as a nation. What will progress as a nation is by taking a step back and cutting out the crazy rhetoric. I'm sick of seeing Beto O'Rourke, Robert Francis O'Rourke down in El Paso fundraising off of the tragedy that we know as a mass shooting, a massacre. People died. Dozens and dozens and dozens of people died due to a mentally ill, unstable, radicalized young man who does not deserve the name, repetition on this program, but doesn't deserve to live amongst decent people. And we would never, ever promote this hateful, disgusting ideology that this gentleman believed in. And these kind of people, these people need to be locked up. They need to be put on trial, very speedy trial, the same trial as terrorists, such as Al-Qaeda terrorists, and they should be tried for murder, acquitted immediately, and have public hangings. That's what I believe we should have, public hangings, because people like this do not deserve the dignity to die in secret. The whole nation should watch as they are suspended from a rope and left lifeless until their neck snaps and they die. That is what we believe here at Band America. Our justice system has gotten so pansied, so corrupt, so piecemeal, and we don't have true justice anymore. And that is why we need to make sure that domestic terrorists, like this man in El Paso, get the maximum punishment for this sick, sick crime. And using hatred, using the same kind of hatred and vile language that this disgusting shooter used towards Mitch McConnell, it's not going to help our country heal. It's not going to let us move forward. It's not going to sow the divisions that we see every single day from the left and from the right. All it's going to do is create more hatred between Trump voters and between Hillary Clinton supporters and Democrats. And it's not going to bring anyone together. It's going to push us further apart. And we are not going to stand for this. And I hope everyone listening to this realizes the gravity of how important it is to stand up to this disgusting behavior from the left, from the right, from terrorists, and from domestic citizens alike that are not being violent, but are speaking violent words that are inciting violence. There's nothing wrong with being angry about these horrible tragedies. I'm angry too. I don't want to see this. You know, I'm from New Mexico, and I know I have so many friends that are right down there, right on the border of El Paso and Las Cruces, down there near Sunland Park, and I have so many friends down there that are right on the cusp of Texas and New Mexico on that border, and there is absolutely nothing that hurts me more than seeing my fellow American patriots get shot and get tortured and have to deal with the loss and the pain and the death that they've had to deal with these past few days. And I cannot even begin to imagine how empty and how sickened those families must feel. But we do not fix this with more laws, more hatred, more vitriol, and more violence. We fix this as a united front, a united nation, and that is the only way that we can continue to survive as a country and as a superpower in this world. So think before you tweet. And remember that banning people for sharing the violence against them and trying to get attention on an evil issue, such as these people outside of McConnell's house, that is not something that should be banned. Getting visibility to hatred, that should not be banned. Using Facebook, using Twitter, using social media as a political ploy to slam one side and let the other speak is not okay, especially when it has to do with violence. This country doesn't need any more lashes and any more open wounds. All we need is free speech for us to speak and use words of nonviolence, but use words that can unite us and bring us forward to a future that we can be proud of for our children, for our grandchildren, and for future generations after that. So thanks all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we will talk to you next week. And stay safe out there. I know it's scary right now. I know all our wounds are still fresh, but remember that we are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty for all. And together, we can make America a better place, and we can all contribute to the beautiful future that we have ahead. Thanks again. Bye-bye.